All
All
right.
right, let's do this. Let's jump back in.
Okay. So last episode we're still in Alfheim, and we're just making our way to the light of Alfheim, and we just encountered Sindri
Hmm.
for the second time in Alfheim, and then we saw a Jotun shrine depicting Groa, who
Yes.
was a seer, and killed her and stole her book, according to the game.
All
So we're going to
righty.
continue on our journey to the light of Alfheim in order to recharge the Bifrost that Freya gave us.
Sounds great.
So the Dark Elves, of course, have invaded, um, really
Huh.
taken over.
We're inside.
We're inside the temple now.
Of course.
The king, and yeah, we're just gonna make our way through their
Huh.
swarms.
I wonder how much of like this was inspired by like the Tolkien-esque, you know, realm of the elves.
Mm.
So it's reminding me a bit of that, at least in the film adaptations.
Just with all the flora and
Which,
fauna.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, kind of like the gilded archways.
Oh yeah, sure.
This is the tough one.
Yeah, he's squirmy. I don't have my axe. I forgot to call it back. Actually, I think I was trying to get the glory kill or whatever they call it again.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna turn it down just a sec. We can.
You still have much to learn.
New entry in the bestiary. Dark Elf Summoner. Okay, so this is like next level
Call
Dark Elf.
reinforcements. Yep,
Okay.
got some more of these little nightmares
Ooh.
explode
Ooh.
in here.
With some kind of a poisonous vapor when they explode,
Yeah,
or what is
looks
it?
like it.
Get too close. Is that a Dark Elf Summoner?
Nope, they have the summoners have like glowing wings.
Okay. Oh yeah, that hurt you. Okay. I think, didn't it?
Yeah,
That
a little bit. I shouldn't be getting that close to them.
clicker
Um,
noises here. Atreus is back.
so I'm going
Godfather.
for the glory kill here.
Nice.
I think you got
Games are known for their brutality, for sure.
Yes, for sure. I love his little quips,
Yeah,
commentary. Okay.
not much doing the codex on the warriors,
it.
just
Whoa! Now that's impressive.
some strategy tips.
What are those little, what are those things?
Oh, butterflies? I don't know. Just kind of
Something
examining the
like,
architecture here.
yeah. This is reminding me very much of like the realm of the elves in Lord of the Rings, but
Yeah,
which of course is also inspired by Norse, Old Norse literature and mythology.
these are these growths or something. Not really sure exactly what they are, but
Okay.
you have to break them all to get the through the um, wherever they have the overgrowth.
Why do they keep coming back? You're not
Well, I
doing
don't
it
think I'm
right.
not doing it right here.
Okay.
Can't figure out if there's a third one. I need to go around to a different area here and figure out what's going on.
Ooh.
Usually Atreus knows the right way to go.
Okay, so he sort of indicates
Yeah.
where you need to go.
Yep.
There, the light.
They've covered it up with that stuff.
There's a light elf.
How would they do that?
It's trying to get to the light.
Look,
Okay.
another light up. What's he doing?
Yeah.
Oh no!
They look like spirits
Why are they killing
from
him?
this distance.
He didn't do anything.
Do not assume. You are seeing the end of a war, boy. You do not know what led to this moment.
But he didn't even defend himself.
That was his choice. We make ours.
Little power attack there.
Get more of the growth.
Yep.
I wish I could hear what they
Yeah,
were
they kinda
saying
slip-
better.
Yeah.
What their language is.
Yeah. I agree. They don't do the subtitles for what they're saying, as far as I know.
No. I'll look into that. If anybody knows what language they're supposed to be speaking.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let us know.
So is this like a growth over the whole area that you're on right now?
Yeah. Yeah, these dark elves are more, like we talked about in the last episode, they're a little more like insect-like or something. So it's like they built their hive up around
Yeah,
the
for
light.
sure.
Yeah, good thing Atreus has his handy bow and arrows.
No kidding. Like he's like fully an NPC. Like he's just
Yeah.
nice.
Got to continue on our way here.
More.
Yep. But
So what's the relationship between the nightmares and the dark elves? They're just kind of like
I don't know. Good question.
a alliance, or
Working together. It would seem.
are they a weapon that's used by the dark elves?
Could be. Yeah, because it seems like they just blow up.
Yeah.
She's got more of these growths that are blocking the light.
Okay, so all right, so you have to open a bunch more of them. Okay. What would you do without that axe?
I don't know. It's a good thing Faye left it to us.
You're
Right?
destroying all the pathways.
So how many pathways are?
I think there's a decent amount. We're getting closer to the light, though, as we go. More dead light elves. We're starting to get close to their main nest, hive.
I just looked it up really quick, and who knows, I don't know how accurate this is, but it says that the dark elves speak Quenya, a constructed language, one of those devised by Tolkien for his elves in Middle-earth fiction.
Ah,
But that's purely based on,
Yeah.
well, I'm seeing it in a few of the sources,
Find the
so
light somewhere else.
No, give me a moment.
anyway. I don't know if that's right or not, but it would make sense if they looked to Tolkien for inspiration,
yeah, absolutely.
since he visualized kind of the world of, a world based on Norse mythology.
Mhm.
So do they have like a collective sort of like mentality?
That's a good question. It seems like it. I mean, when they fight, they kind of fight as one to a certain extent. I just think it's interesting how they
mind.
depict them to be so insect-like, and like we were
Yeah.
talking about in the last episode, how there's maybe some overlap between the
Stay
dwarves and the dark elves, and
Right.
here they're obviously very distinct. But
When we make
Yeah,
it to the light,
definitely. Yeah.
how do you think we get it into the Bifrost?
be interesting to know how they drew their inspiration for.
Did?
When she
Yeah.
was ripped away
No,
from
for
this
sure.
realm,
Oh, how did I miss that?
you were more concerned with her safety than our goal.
Father!
Uh-oh.
Quiet.
What's this?
I have him. Your knife boy.
What was that?
It's just a dark elf in a cocoon or something.
It was a big one.
Yeah.
That was close.
Do not stray from me, boy.
You don't gotta tell me.
So Atreus doesn't like climbing on his own. He likes to just ride.
Yep. Like a little
Atreus
monkey.
doesn't, yeah.
So
Just likes to ride Kratos' back.
another one.
Stay back.
These are a different type, it looks like.
So
Uh-oh.
there's the light. They built their nest all around it.
Yes, we are near our goal, but we must be careful. Understand?
God,
Lice of Álfheimr. So you have to get rid of all of this, like hive.
Yeah, you'll see. We got to go through and
Destroy
restore
the
some of
hive.
the pathways and
There. When it falls,
fight our
be
way
ready.
to the
We
light.
need to move quickly.
okay.
Swing and a miss. And there's a bunch of dark elves just hanging out in
Yep.
here too.
Yes, it's like their central area for them.
Are we gonna see that head one? The main one that was
Not in this episode, but we will fight him eventually.
Here they come. Stay behind me and protect our flank.
Yes, sir.
so like their end game is to just take over Álfheim as theirs, right?
Yeah,
Like, that's sort
it's
of their
kind of what I've gathered. Seems like it's all about controlling the light, and they must not like the light, so they're trying to just control it and
sure.
stop it or something. I'm not entirely sure.
Hurry, boy. I will clear our path. Shorten the time between your volleys.
What happened to accuracy over speed?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the hive is crumbling.
Excellent.
Are you injured?
I'm fine. Wow.
So here's the light.
There's the light.
So we've released it.
It's making the whole
Nice.
temple reappear. It's the source of all of it. Wait. It's singing. I hear her! I told you I heard her! Do you think she's in there? Ah! Ah!
Uh-oh.
It really hurt. I felt like my hand was on fire.
Stay here.
But I want to
Stay here. Only use it as a last resort.
Uh-oh.
You're
They can
giving me
separate?
an axe?
I'm letting you hold my axe.
Just see.
It is not a gift.
Still.
It's as big as him. Cool.
What is this?
So we're in the light now.
Okay.
Faye?
Oh, so he can hear her now.
Mm-hmm.
You have to come back. You left me here alone.
Atreus?
Alone with him.
Is he talking to his mom?
Mm-hmm.
He always leaves. He's never here. He doesn't want me and he never will. know him and he doesn't know me. Doesn't seem to want to. I'm strong. I'm smart. I'm not what he thinks I am. I know better. He doesn't talk to me. Doesn't teach me. It should have been him. Do you hear me? Him, not you.
We're in like this kind of a shadow realm.
It seems like it. Yeah, it's just he stepped into the light and
Yeah.
now he's seeing things.
And hearing.
Yeah, hearing Faye, and then of course Atreus.
Yeah.
Maybe some of
regret.
Yep.
Except, I don't mean that. You know I love him. I just wish he was better. I know he can be. So if he tries, I'll try. But if he doesn't, please come back. I know you're out there somewhere.
Wait. Come back! No! No! What have you done? Why did you do that?
I saved you! You were trapped in there! I waited, but you wouldn't come out! So I pulled you out!
Boy, I was gone only...
Atreus is taking care of business out there.
Clearly.
You've been gone a long time! I
Sick.
didn't know what to do! You left me here! Again! Why don't you care?
That's impossible.
We should go before they come back. I hope you got what you needed.
Now we know how he really feels.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Look, there's our exit. But there's no light to make a bridge. We're trapped. And the witch's bowstring is useless.
Boy, your bow. Hold it out.
Yeah, so now the
Nice.
Bifrost is recharged, we're able to infuse his bowstring again. We can channel the light.
On my mark, loose your arrow into the stone.
Do you have to renew? Like, keep infusing
No.
it? Does it wear off? Okay.
No, just the ones. And now we can generate our own
Now
light
make
bridges.
our way back.
Wonderful.
Come.
So we're making our way out of the temple. Solving some puzzles along the way.
The light makes you crazy. That's the sense of like it
Yeah.
made him
And
go
I
into
think
some
that's-
state.
Yep, and I think that's what Freya was trying to warn us about before she got sucked back in.
Oh,
to
yeah.
Midgard. He was
Yep,
going to tell us
that's
that
Yeah.
probably not to enter the light, just stick the Bifrost in and be done.
Yeah.
We've been standing here.
So the new power is definitely useful. There's a lot of these light
Absolutely.
bridges around that we can get to now.
Nice.
Get some moolah.
Nice. It has to be Atreus who activates it.
Yep. Once we get back to Midgard and get up to the top of the mountain, there's another character that gets introduced who's
Ooh.
adds a lot to the
You
to the
can
game.
reach the bowl now.
Uh-huh.
So Atreus is still not very happy with us.
Mm-hmm.
Looking around, yeah,
Well, now we know
it
how
is
he
quite
really feels.
it is quite
What does
beautiful.
this mean?
See?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the shape.
Yeah, I know.
It's like an encyclopedic memory, so I think he'll be fine with that.
So he's going to the sand bowl where he's going to carve in the rune, and it'll
Okay,
open the door.
Go ahead.
perfect. And then we're
My
done with
understanding,
Álfheimr.
Hellish tree begins as any more than.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll head back
proceed.
to the boat.
Stupid
We're not
riddle.
quite done. I got a little bit more to do here, and then we'll make our
So,
way
it's
back
a door after all.
to Tyr's temple.
Nice. And then we have to go to another realm, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. Yep, back to Midgard, I think for now. I can't really
Okay.
remember, but we'll get there. So these are the light elves
Oh, welcome back.
coming back.
Atreus is proud.
A little grin, a goofy little grin.
Wow. Yeah, they're just flocking back.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
I hate that guy.
We'll be back.
You will be back.
Yeah. So that was about it for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not a ton of lore in this particular playthrough. We did make it to the light of
No.
Alfheim.
Right.
But it is interesting seeing the light elves and just knowing the history between the antagonism between them and the dark elves. It sounds like there's really not much though in the primary text when it comes to elves in general, though, right?
No, there really isn't. And I mean, like I said last time, there's some indication that like there may be some overlap between dwarves and dark elves, but that clearly isn't the case in this world and this interpretation, right? Because we have like the dwarves, like Sindri,
Yeah,
but very
definitely
different
separate.
from the insect-like creatures that are
Yeah,
um, the dark elves.
it
But
made me think
I
when, go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead. No, you go
I
ahead.
was just going to say when you were talking about the language you were speaking, being the Elvish language of Tolkien, it made me think about his depiction of orcs and which
Mhm.
are a form of elf as well, right? So
I
where
think
as you
so.
know, there's other kinds of elves too in Tolkien. There's the wood elves, right? And then
Right.
um, um, I guess the elves that Elrond and company.
Hmm.
There's certainly a lot of hatred between the orcs and elves in Tolkien.
Absolutely. Yeah, and they represent sort of evil and, they sort of are seen as like, I guess, kind of an infection. And
Hmm.
yeah, so I think that like I'd be curious to know, and I don't because I don't know, whether there like is like intentional adaptation from that world because like Tolkien was a professor of Old Norse and Old English, and it's pretty well known that Tolkien like pretty much lifted some things directly from Old Norse sources, like the names of the dwarves,
Hmm.
for example, the whole Sigurd the Dragon
Oh yeah,
Slayer thing with the sword and everything being reforged,
the
the
rings.
ring, the rings, everything. So like there's some very clear, and Gandalf and Odin kind of that overlap as well. And he said that that was the Odinic wanderer. There's so much from the world of Tolkien that was taken from or adapted from the world of Norse mythology, and that's kind of like the first like real like fantasy, right? Like the sort of the birth of the fantasy genre in a way. Then in how it also and one that adapted from this world as well in a new way. So I mean, like I think I would be really interested to know how much the game developers were sort of looking at that world and how Tolkien visualized, the realm of the elves and the realm of humans um, and everything like that. Because I mean, there like we talked about last time, there just isn't necessarily so much to go off of in the sources, which is like the primary sources, which is, frustrating, but also like leaves a lot of room for interpretation.
Yeah,
But yeah, like that
definitely.
was immediately what I thought of is like, the realm of the wood elves and in at least the film adaptation of Lord of the Rings.
Sure.
It looked very
Yeah.
similar to like the room that Frodo wakes up in, and they have that slow
Hmm.
motion scene and everything. And yeah, it looks very 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 similar to that. But that's a good point about like the orcs and the elves is sort of the you can see this as sort of a parallel to that light and dark elf. So could very well
Yeah.
be.
Now, when you think about the different realms, there's 9 realms, right? And
Mhm.
I think we touched on this in a prior episode, but they're all kind of depicted as branches of the world tree, right? Of Yggdrasil.
Yeah, or sections of the world tree. Like
Okay,
they talk about how the roots go into several of the realms, and then it's unclear like how it's visualized, but like they're all within the tree somehow.
sure. Yep.
Um, and then there's these 3 wells, and or the roots, so the 3 roots that go into 3 of the realms, but not necessarily branches as much as like they're just
Mm.
somewhere in
Somewhere on the
there.
tree. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay. So is that when you
yeah,
think about travel between the realms, it makes it,
right,
possible just traveling across the tree itself. And maybe that's
right.
what Tyr's Temple does in this game, is it just moving from one section of the tree to the other?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think it's
Mm.
yeah, it's unclear like exactly how they're connected to one another, but I mean like there's Asgard is definitely supposed to be sort of at the top right of the
Okay.
tree, and
Hmm.
it's in heaven, like the
Sure.
heaven type area or whatever, and then hell, the realm of
Well,
hell
maybe
is
Muspelheim or something like that.
they're down
Further
they're
down.
down below in the root. Some of these areas and then we have sort of Jotunheim and Midgard in the middle that are sort of neighboring realms to one another. um so yeah, it's we have some indication of sort of like where in terms of like the vertical um
Hmm.
orientation of the tree some of these realms line up. So
Got it.
yeah,
Okay, interesting.
yeah.
And I assume Odin and the other gods probably traveled freely between all the realms, right?
Yeah, most like, the one who traveled the most between them, and I do think this is kind of interesting in terms of having like, I think Kratos is sort of this interesting like mix. Like he has a story that I don't totally know about because I haven't played the other games, but like, um, he reminds me both sort of Odin, but also of Thor in a way. Like he takes on some
Mm,
characteristics of both of those
sure.
gods. Thor and Loki were always sort of a pair that was depicted as,
Yeah.
going around together, right? Like it was like a,
Yeah.
kind of the odd couple. Like you had, the Brawn, um, and
Yep.
then you had the Brains and the Trickster. But Thor
Yeah.
was
Loki
one
antagonized a lot, right? And teased
exactly.
Thor, and because he was probably
Yep.
bored and it was easy and fun.
Exactly. Exactly. So they're always together. And I mean, it's just like the same reason it's like a comical duo in like Marvel and other
Yeah, sure.
adaptations. I'm sure it was just as entertaining then because, it's an odd pairing, but they serve as sort of foils to one another. But yeah, Odin's
Mm,
always sort of traveling among the different realms, as is Thor, because he's often
mm,
going out and fighting giants. So,
sure.
um,
Yep.
yeah, I see some like characteristics of both of those gods being in Kratos. I think maybe
Hmm.
part of that is just, his physique and,
Sure.
kind of his job is just like, just bashing things and destroying
Yep.
enemies. And I'm not saying very much. Um, and then of course traveling with, well, I mean, like we know that, I mean, I know already that Atreus is Loki. Like that is
Yep.
something I know. Um,
Yep.
so like kind of having that knowledge beforehand also I think impacts how I view
Yeah.
him. But
Yeah. All the little
yeah,
hints, like you say, as he's
yeah,
figuring out puzzles, understanding languages, speaking with
yeah,
animals, things like that.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously there's like so like in Marvel, there's like the whole idea that Odin is like the adopted father of Loki and all that. That's not really in the mythology. So like obviously like the father son relationship isn't something that would be an equivalent to the sources. But anyway, I
Hmm.
certainly get that kind of vibe with the two of them. And it really does parallel what you see in the sources in terms of, kind of going on adventures, dealing with threats of various kinds. And
Sure.
um, yeah. And I love that Atreus is also the one who always knows what to do. Like
Yeah.
he reminds you,
Yeah.
like, you gotta go this way. He always has
Yep.
the answers. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's
yeah,
true. When it's any sort of puzzle or anything like that, it's usually Atreus figuring it out. And when there's
right.
something to smash, it's Kratos smashing it. So
Well, right,
yeah.
exactly. So it's consistent. To me, that's what it parallels in the mythology. So
Hmm.
yeah. So where are we off to next? You said Midgard?
Yeah, we're gonna head back to the boat, get back to
Okay.
Midgard, I think, and try to clear out. If you remember, as we were going up the mountain, there was that black breath coming down, blocking us, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
when Freya showed up and said, "We need the light of
No, we
Álfheim."
have,
So,
yeah, no, we have that. So
making our way
what
back.
is the what did he recover from? What was that thing that he got that he took that was he used on the bow?
Yep, that was the Bifrost.
Oh,
Um,
that was the Bifrost. Okay.
yep, and is
Forgot
that
about that.
referenced in some of the text too? I think I can't
It's
recall. You would know more
beef
than I, but
it's a Bifrost is a range, just the bridge, the rainbow bridge itself.
oh,
It's not like an
oh,
object.
okay,
So
interesting.
that's the rainbow, that's yeah, the bridge that connects heaven and earth and or Asgard and Midgard and that
Okay,
Heimdall sits on the top of. Um
sure.
so yeah, it's a kind of the how you get from one realm from Asgard to other realms.
Okay. Yeah, and that's interesting because that's what you use to power Tyr's temple. Um,
Oh, okay. All right. So okay, now I remember. No, I remember that from last time. Now it's been a little bit foggy, but now I remember that. So
mhm.
okay, but it got like recharged when he went into the
Yep,
light.
yep,
Okay.
exactly. Yep. So he was able to then imbue the bow again with this with the light,
Okay.
and now we'll be able to use it
Awesome.
in the temple. Yeah.
Cool.
So more to come.
Sounds
It was
good.
a little bit shorter episode, but that was fun. So
That's
I think the
okay.
next one
No,
will
it
probably
was
have a
good.
lot of lore, a lot of
Yeah, for
questions, a lot
sure.
of
Well,
things
we
like that will come
wrap
up.
up. We addressed a lot of lore last time and a lot of about the
Hmm.
elves. So
Yeah,
it was
please
good
leave
to
questions or
yeah,
comments. If there's something
absolutely.
like some of the questions we have, if anyone knows, please let us know.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. For sure. And I have a list of some questions that have been coming up that I'll do sort of a separate video on to address so that it doesn't sort of take away from the focus of, whatever episode we're on. But yeah, or, alternatively, if I'm able to, I'll just respond in the comments if it's something I can easily respond to that way. So yeah. But yeah, thanks for the support and
yeah, thanks everyone.
we'll see you next time. All
All
right.
right, thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye.